Flooring with a change of direction for apprentices can be quite daunting, but it's really, really simple. So I'm just going to show you probably the easiest one you'll ever get, where the way these joists work is I can essentially go from this joist all the way that way, because my joist's running this way, so my phone has to run that way. And then when I come this way, I can interlock into the board on every alternative row. So that's going to keep everything to height. You need to pick a starting point. So what I'm looking to do is make sure I'm not going to end up short of this last joist when I come to the end of the run. So if I look at this as being my starting point and go away, I know that I'm working at 600 centres all the way across here. So if I start half on this joist here, I'm going to end up on my 5th joist over there, half and half, and I'm going to set it off this joist here and away. When you put your first run in, just tack them. And the joist that you're actually going to start on, don't glue that to start with, otherwise you're going to have a headache later on. You'll glue that joist when you run the opposite direction, and that'll tie it all together. Right, get your first board. Get it lined up. So I'm landing half on this joist here. And then I know that I'm going to be landing half on that joist there when I get to it. And all I'm looking to do is I'm going to offer my tape up to the underside of the board, and I want to see 30 mil. Yeah, that's not a perfect split, but what it does is it gives me a little bit of play when I go across the other direction, just in case something goes wrong. And because it's going to be alternating, I'm going to have a butt joint every run, and I want as much bear as I can possibly get on the butt joint, because it isn't locking into the tongue on its left hand side. It's my 30. Right, so I've got 30 there, all the way along the back from the underside of the board, not from the face that groove, and I'm just going to tack nails along the way to make sure that I'm staying in place, but I'm not hammering them all home, because what I don't want to do is have a fucking disaster where I stick a shitload of nails through something and then have to move it. Just be cautious if you are doing this. On the back section of this run, there's 2 joists that are running the same way, so I'm actually flooring almost with the joist on one run, but I am catching the next joist, which is set at a 600 centre. But be careful when you're tacking into that joist that you're not going through the tongue. You just want everything held in place. So I'm just going to work my way along flooring. I can go back first to start. And from this point, once our first board's set, when I sling my boards up and over, I'm just looking to make sure that these joints are running in line in the tight, with the fronts marrying up. There might be a little bit of fucking tolerance within the boards, or out of tolerance rather. So I just want to make sure that this run stays true and straight. When I'm gluing, I've got glue in that groove there. I'm going to glue the top side of this tongue. I'm not going to go right to the very, very back. I'll catch that later on. Again, if I go all the way to the back and it starts pissing out, by the time I've floored from all the way back here, I'm going to have a load of rock solid glue to try and chip away, and I'm just going to damage a board. So I'm just going to stop ever so slightly short with my glue. And then when I pull them in tight, you'll see that glue start coming up. Quite a good tip is if once you've got it tight, if you just push it away again and then pull it back in again, you'll see that glue just pissing over the top. The NHBC absolutely fucking love to see glue pissing everywhere. It's cost a fucking fortune. So I can see those boards are now running in line, and I'm just feeling that top to make sure the tops are marrying in. And again, I can just go along and tack this board in place. 9:53. So and it is 10:38. Not bad, you take it.